A decorated black Army veteran gets pulled over for nothing, then humiliated by a rookie cop who has no idea who he just disrespected. But within minutes, karma hits back in the most unbelievable way. You're not going to believe how this ends. If this story moved you, make sure to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful true stories that matter. Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, stay kind, stay aware, and we'll see you in the next one. It was a bright Monday morning in Atlanta, and 66-year-old Major Harold Thompson was on his way to visit a local high school, where he often gave talks on leadership and discipline. A proud, retired U.S. Army officer, Harold had served the country for over 30 years. Medals lined his shelves, but he never bragged. He was calm, well-spoken, and deeply respected in his community. As he turned onto a quiet suburban road, flashing red and blue lights lit up behind him. Confused, he checked his mirrors, slowed down, and pulled over. He wasn't speeding. His tags were current. What could it be? Harold calmly rolled down his window. That's when Officer Darren Cole, a young white cop with a chip on his shoulder, stepped up. "What are you doing in this neighborhood?" he barked. Harold raised an eyebrow. "Just driving to speak at the school, officer." Darren narrowed his eyes. "License and registration." Harold handed it over, steady and polite. But Darren's tone kept shifting, hostile, suspicious, aggressive, as if Harold's very existence was a problem. And then it escalated. Despite everything being in order, license, registration, no warrants, Officer Darren wasn't done. He radioed for backup. Then he yanked open the door. "Step out of the car." Now, Harold, confused but compliant, unbuckled and stepped out. "I don't understand. What's the issue here?" Harold asked, still calm. "You're being difficult. You're resisting." Darren snapped, grabbing Harold's arm and twisting it behind his back. Before Harold could react, he was face down on the hood of his car, handcuffed, with Darren's knee pressing down. Passers-by began to stop and watch. Some started filming on their phones. A few shouted, "Hey, he didn't do anything." But Darren didn't care. "You people think you can do whatever you want," Darren muttered under his breath. Harold heard it, clear as day. "You people." 3 decades of military discipline kept Harold from reacting. But inside, his heart sank. After all he'd done for his country, he was still just another black man to this officer. By now, a small crowd had formed. One of them, a young woman named Alicia, live-streamed the whole thing to her 30,000 Instagram followers. She narrated, "This cop just pulled over an old black man. No reason, no backup. Now he's cuffing him? This ain't right." A neighbor who recognized Harold walked up. "Officer, that's Major Thompson. He's a decorated Army vet. What are you doing?" Darren scoffed. "I don't care if he's the president." He was acting suspicious. "Suspicious?" someone shouted. He was driving. The tension thickened. Cameras kept rolling. More people joined in, recognizing Harold. Then a second police cruiser pulled up. Out stepped Lieutenant Maria Jennings, Darren's superior, and a black woman who had once trained under Harold during a military outreach program. When she saw Harold in cuffs, her face froze. "Major Thompson," she said, stunned. "Maria." Harold nodded, still calm despite the humiliation. She turned to Darren. "You cuffed him? On what charge?" "Suspicion. Failure to comply," Darren mumbled. Maria's eyes burned. "You're in deep trouble, Officer Cole." Lieutenant Jennings ordered Darren to remove the handcuffs immediately. He hesitated until she shouted, "Now." Harold rubbed his wrists, still dignified. "Sir, I am so sorry," Maria said, her voice shaking. "This should never have happened." Harold nodded slowly. "I know, Lieutenant. But sadly, it's not the first time." The crowd was still watching. Phones still recording. Maria turned to Darren. "You just disrespected a retired officer who served this country longer than you've worn a badge. You didn't even run his plates properly before deciding to escalate." Darren was silent. Then Maria said something that made the crowd gasp. "Major Thompson once trained military officers overseas, including me. He's the reason I joined the force." Karma had spoken. By the next morning, the video had gone viral. Hashtag Justice for Major Thompson trended on Twitter. News outlets picked up the story. Alicia's live stream hit 1 million views in under 24 hours. The public was outraged. Army veteran humiliated by racist cop. Cop abuses power, gets shut down by his boss, and karma. Police Chief Daniels called a press conference. We are investigating the incident involving Officer Darren Cole. What happened does not reflect the values of our department. Retired Major Harold Thompson deserves better. Officer Cole was placed on administrative leave pending a full investigation. Meanwhile, Harold kept quiet. He wasn't after fame. But when CNN requested an interview, he agreed because he knew this wasn't just about him. This isn't about one bad cop, he told the host. It's about a system where black men, even after serving their country, still get treated like suspects. Inspired by Harold's grace and the injustice he faced, the local community began organizing. Peaceful marches were held, demanding police reform and better training. At one rally, students held signs that read, "Major Thompson is our hero. Protect black veterans. Respect can't be optional." Even military groups and veterans organizations joined the chorus, voicing outrage over how Harold was treated. Within 2 weeks, the police department announced new anti-bias training and revised its traffic stop protocols. Officer Cole's body cam footage, once reviewed, only made things worse for him. It showed everything: the disrespect, the aggression, and the slurs under his breath. He was fired, but Harold never gloated. Instead, he issued a simple statement. "I hope he learns from this. I hope the world does too." A month later, Harold was invited to speak at the same school he was headed to the day of the incident. But this time, the gym was packed, not just with students, but with families, teachers, and reporters. He stepped onto the stage to a standing ovation. He smiled and said, "I don't want your pity. I want your promise. Your promise to treat people with respect, no matter their skin color, uniform, or background." The room was silent. And if you see someone doing wrong, speak up, because karma only works when good people stand up. The applause was thunderous. As Harold walked off the stage, a teacher asked, "Major, do you feel justice was served?" He paused, looked back, and said, "Justice? Maybe not fully. But karma? She did her job just fine."